Are you looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football and basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/bluewire and use code BLUEWIRE. That's code BLUEWIRE at prizepicks.com/bluewire for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cars.com. With over 2 million vehicles and 50,000 more added every day, Cars.com will match you with the perfect car for you, your budget, your life, your style. And if you're ready to say goodbye to your current car, Cars.com will get you an instant offer to cash it in. Just start by entering your license plate and get matched with a local dealer who will write you the check. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, just go to Cars.com. It's magical.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Mavs Party. This is Kirk Henderson, Editor-in-Chief of MavsMoneyball.com. It is about 10:45 here on Friday, December 16th. Thank you so much for choosing to spend part of your Friday, Saturday, weekend, whatever it is, with me. For those of you who just watched, we watched a really surprising and just delightful beatdown of the Portland Trailblazers. That is the 6th straight Dallas win over the Trailblazers, as Josh Bowe just informed me on our recap podcast. And the Mavericks have really just whooped them repeatedly. It's kind of strikes me as one of these styles make fights games where the Trailblazers just don't have a reasonable answer for Luka. And when they have to throw somebody at him, one of their more, like, let's just say Justice Winslow, who's a more defensive-minded player, it gunks up what makes their offense really cook. It was a lot of fun. It's nice to win, despite some of our protestations, frustrations with Kidd, frustrations with Cuban. I think all of us still really want the Mavericks to win. It's not fun doing this when they lose. It's fun to bitch, don't get me wrong, but it's much more fun to win. And that's sort of how I feel about things. When you get news yesterday that Maxi Kleber is ostensibly out for the season until he's not, it really felt like this just might be the start of something dark. And instead they came out and kicked the shit out of Portland. And it's time for us to really give it up to super genius and head coach Jason Kidd, who opted to play his 2 best players together to really surprising results in that they looked fucking awesome and scored 65 combined points. Why is basketball's not hard? I mean, it is really hard. It's very complicated, but sometimes coaches and stuff make it super complicated. Like, I understand that you maybe don't want to spam a pick and roll and figure out how to guard it in the playoffs and stuff like that, but the Mavericks need to make the playoffs. So if that means playing their 2 best players so that they get 5 to 10 games over 500, so be it. Let's see it. Okay. So the Mavericks play the Cavs tomorrow night. I am exhausted because I was up for 26 straight hours. I want to go to bed soon. So let's hang out, relish in this game, and let's try to keep it maybe under 40 minutes tonight. Coming up first, I want to hear from Chris Haley, who drove from 95 hours away or wherever he lives in Texas to watch the game live. So what's up?
I live in San Angelo, about 4 hours away from Dallas. Yeah, it was fun tonight, and I think I might be the good luck guy because this is my 2nd game I've gone to this season, and both games have been blowouts. So it was the Memphis game and this game. So I might need to go to more games just to kind of help you guys out. So help the team out. Yeah, it was just being – it was fun. The whole Christian Wood thing, that Luka dunk. Oh my! I had a perfect view for that. That was awesome.
So I want to hear from the chat too. I want to hear your response. Was that the best Luka dunk of his career?
It has to be at least top 3.
I mean, he doesn't have that many dunks, so it's all kind of. There's the one that I really struck me as that should be his career definer is the one in Denver that should have been a game winner but got ruled off because the Mavericks couldn't play defense his rookie year.
Right.
And then that one. That was awesome.
Right. It kind of sucked. When you were there, I couldn't see Luka play the fourth, but I know we got a game tomorrow, so obviously he's going to need to rest. But this has to be the game where it shows you Christian Wood needs to start. I mean, do you think it's a case of Dwight Powell starting? Like, it doesn't matter how we start, it's how we finish. Is that Jason Kidd's thing, or does Dwight have the dirt on somebody?
No, I mean, some of this is – I really think it's how we finish, because Powell's not more than a 20-minute-a-game player, and you do have to spread minutes around.
Right.
I mean,
and he wasn't in. I mean, after the first quarter, I don't think maybe he started the third. I don't even remember, but
well, he started the third and he left the game with a thigh contusion. He might be missing some time.
Ooh, see, I didn't even notice. When you're there in the moment, you just don't know.
Sure.
I just didn't notice those things.
He was doing kind of like the old Tyson Chandler verticality, but only, with his short stubby arms, and got kneed right above his knee on the inside of his thigh, basically hobbled to the locker room. So,
well, here we go. This could be like a blessing in disguise. I don't want anybody to ever be hurt, but Christian Wood is probably going to be starting now.
He has to, unless JaVale McGee starts, in which case we riot.
God, he embarrassed himself out there.
As long as we understand that JaVale McGee is starting, like, this is
right.
It's going to happen that way.
But no, it feels great to get a win, because last thing I was just driving to Dallas and just hearing that After Dark podcast you had, and it just got really dark in there.
Man, I'll tell you what. So I woke up at 4:30, drove to A&M, waited 10 hours for like dog vet appointments, then drove home. And I was busy arguing all morning with people. Like, Bob Sturm of The Ticket had some tweets. I disagree with every single one of his basketball takes on Twitter. I just got to get that out in the open, because even tonight he's like, what if we drafted our next playmaker? It's like, Jaden Hardy plays 7 minutes. Can we relax? But he was making some really, truly, like, factually incorrect arguments about the Bucks, about how they weren't good until they traded for Drew Holiday. They won 60 games in 56 games. It's like they fired Jason Kidd and then they started winning a ton of games. Anyways, I was like angry online because I was exhausted. And then you get the Maxi news, and I went from being pissy to being like legitimately depressed, because Maxi is by all intents, and I still don't know how to feel about the season, but Maxi is kind of the keystone, where he can't play more than 25 minutes, but those 25 minutes are damn important.
Right. One quick question before I get off. Like, worst case scenario, I don't think we're bad enough, because I think we're definitely good enough to make the play-in, right? But let's say if we're bad enough not to make it, so we keep our draft pick. Are we done with this whole Knicks trade?
Yes. If they send the pick to the Knicks, i.e. after, so the only time we know when the pick conveys is after the draft lottery, where that's where it conveys officially, I'm pretty sure. But it's before the draft, so it is what it is. Like, that's when
if we keep our pick, does that delay it like a couple more years where we might have to give them a pick 2025?
It does.
Oh, see, that's what I was like. Oh, we're not done with that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, this is why pick protections. Like, I'm of the opinion, it's an inside baseball thing, but pick protections, I think, should be outlawed. I also think the NBA should really consider rescinding the Stepien rule, where, if you don't know what the Stepien rule is, essentially the Cleveland Cavaliers traded tons of back-to-back picks in the mid to late 80s. And they were just awful. Like, we're talking horrendous trades, like the most one-sided stuff kind of in NBA history. Now, the secret fact that doesn't get discussed about this is that they often traded with the Mavericks, which is why the Mavericks went from being a franchise startup in 1980. By 1988, they're making the conference finals. Like, that's hard to do, and they did it by basically fleecing the Cavs. That's also my theory, my karma theory, why the Mavericks never trade up, move up in the lottery, because they sold their souls in the Stepping Club. Anyways, I'm off on a tangent when I said I didn't want to talk that long.
Well, hopefully the Knicks won't haunt the Mavs for Luka's first 10 years of his career. So hopefully I'll just move on from that. I'll let somebody else come up. But yeah, sure. Great for him tonight. So.
All right, man. Talk soon. Drive safe. Okay, coming up next, let's go with Troy, because Troy has a fantastic jacket as his avatar. What's up, man?
Kirk, you said it right when you said this game was delightful. It was just, we had it, Second half, we came in, didn't let up, and it was because of offense. And I get it. J Kid wants to build defense, and that's great. And we
don't have defensive players,
especially with Maxi out and Josh Green out.
Right.
And it's like, oh wait, we have to play guys that can score.
Let's 2002 the shit out of this Mavericks team and just go nuts.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh wait, yeah, we're scoring all over the place. So I get it, and I want to have a defensive team. I really do, but when you have these guys that can score, like Seawood and Dinwiddie to a point, especially Luka, let's just beat the pants off of these guys by scoring. Let's not try and create identity that isn't who we are,
That's that's sort of where I've been for a while, because unless you have two-way players, you cannot build a two-way team. Last year's Mavericks sort of found two-way players that they played 7.5 guys from January 1st on. And now one of the key cogs in that is probably going to miss. They said 6 to 8 weeks. Dudes who tear their hamstring are never the same again. It is a catastrophic injury, particularly for somebody that uses verticality and quickness like Maxi does. So I'm very sad. But right now, with where we are with the team that we have, let's see how many games they can win. I understand it's not a recipe for playoff success. But did anybody with this team think we were really going to do anything in the playoffs? I just want to get there.
Yeah, agreed. And it's so tight, this race in the Western Conference, that you win 2, 3, 4 games in a row, you're right back in there.
Memphis, I think, is riding a 7-game win streak, and they're on top of the West after being middle of the pack. I mean, that's exactly right.
All right, well, Kirk, appreciate you. That's all I wanted to say. I'll let someone else jump in.
All right, talk soon, bud. Let's see here. Let's go to Matt. Welcome to the show, Matt. Been a long time since you've been in here. What's going on? I can.
Hey, it's been a while since I've been on this green room, so I thought I'd hop on here. Really big fan. Thanks so much for everything you do. So this is a huge, huge win for us, I think. I think just the fact that Portland was pretty hot before this game.
Yep.
And they got a good start to the season and kind of fell off a little bit, but they were pretty hot before this game. I was thinking this may possibly be a loss, but I think the Mavs responded pretty well. Do you really think that Jason Kidd could possibly try and start JaVale tomorrow? I sincerely hope not.
Oh, yes. And it's less for me being and I promise it's less me being an ass and more for the same reason that I think he starts Dwight, where they want to control minutes. And you just got to do something. But
yeah, because I honestly, I was kind of not really surprised, but I was hoping that they would start Wood tonight with the Maxi injury, and then I saw Dwight Powell still out there. I'm just like, gosh, dang it, man.
I mean, it's gonna be like 2027, and Dwight Powell's still gonna be starting basketball.
For sure, yeah. So, something real quick. I listened to one of your After Dark podcasts, and I know you mentioned that Isaac Harris of Locked On Mavs had originally praised the JaVale McGee trade.
Yep.
And it was really funny because he's actually rescinded that.
Oh, I know since. He has. It's like, because it's the same thing with my takes on Brunson. Like, you put something that spicy into the universe, folks let you hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just thought that was funny. But man, he even in garbage time, he really didn't look the greatest. But
well, he I don't know if you're on Twitter. The motherfucker tweeted at halftime a bunch of photos of himself going into games in different outfits, and I saw the tickets. Jake Kemp tweet out, like, "Are you serious with this?" Because I just missed it. I don't follow JaVale at all because I don't want to lose my mind. And it's like, he's just not a serious basketball player. He's going to be on our team for years, though, because if they can't, unless they trade him for salary reasons, he's not going nowhere.
Man, I didn't know that. I'm not on Twitter at all, which may be a good or bad thing. But
it's a great thing for your sanity, though. It is fun mid-game. But it's one of these things where players are not supposed. There's a thing with Kevin Love years ago where he got in trouble for tweeting during a game. It's just one of those things that's categorically frowned upon. Now, it was probably a scheduled thing that he misscheduled. I do that all the time. but it still really made me laugh. I'm just like, if this is not emblematic of what this guy is doing with the Mavericks, then I don't know what is, because it's a bunch of nothing and like buff, it's so silly.
So is that as bad as getting a hot dog during halftime?
Ooh, good God. What a great callback. I don't know. The hot dog thing might be the best thing that ever, like, it's such a funny thing.
Well, the funny thing, we'll see if possibly Nerlens gets back on the Mavs. I don't know if that's possible.
I've not addressed that because it wouldn't be good for Josh Bo's mental health, because Bo loved Nerlens.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I'll get off here in a second, but I do want to emphasize, I totally agree. I think we really need to just emphasize our strength on offense, and definitely, like you said, saw that with Christian Wood and Luka playing together.
Well, here's the funny part, Matt. Josh Bo has figured this out because he uses all these fancy basketball stats I'm too stupid to figure out. But the Mavericks play the second best defense in the league off of a made basket.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've heard you say that a lot.
So why don't we score a bunch of points? And maybe they'll play better defense.
That's a good. Hey, that's a good argument for sure. It is really funny though how Jason Kidd's probably going to be forced now to start Christian Wood, and that's been a subject for a while. I think there was two camps of people that were thinking that it doesn't necessarily matter if you start because you're going to get it. More so matters if you finish and how many minutes you get. But it's at this point where we've had so many bad starts that Cleveland start was terrible. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I watched that whole game. And it's gotten to the point where you just need to get good starts now. Yep. So at that point, I would agree that it does matter who starts. So we'll see kind of what goes on from here. The good thing is that Luka did rest the whole fourth quarter, so hopefully that helps tomorrow.
It does. I'm really glad about that. I looked this up during the game. Luka has now, where is my Twitter feed? Really, really great audio content. Luka has now scored 890 points in 989 minutes. He is a good basketball player.
Yeah. There was a lot of talk. I need to get off, but I mean, there was a lot of talk I know about his body language the last game. And Simply Biased was, I don't know if you're familiar with his stuff on YouTube, but Simply Biased was talking about it quite a bit too. And, it's, I completely get his frustrations, but I think maybe an unpopular take. I mean, it probably is getting to the point where some of his reactions on the court are getting pretty toxic, but he seemed to really bounce back tonight. Like, I feel like beginning of the game, he was not showing very much pushback or negative emotion at all. So I'm pretty sure he's probably pretty cognizant of, hopefully he's aware of how the body language can really affect, I know he's still young, but he's the leader of this team, and he just has to grow into that. Yep. So, I love Luka. He's everything for this team. He's not perfect. He still has some things to work on, and, kind of just controlling emotions and body language is one of them. But I have confidence he'll get better, especially if they win. Winning solves a lot of things. So
that's right. Winning cures all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for letting me on. Have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, bud. Hope you come back. All right. Let's go to Ewan. What's happening, guy?
What's up?
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice. Winning is good.
Yeah, that was good. That was man, Luka, he's giving us a lot of highlight plays over the last week. He's just doing his thing.
So we didn't talk about this because we were mad after the Cavs game. The replay of his behind the back pass through traffic to the corner is one of the silliest things he's ever done.
Yeah, the Tim Hardaway, right? Yeah, that was. And even tonight, the fake, the ball fake, like he like his right hand, he was passing it, but he had the ball in his left hand, and he did the fake with the right hand, and then that got the defender moving that way, and it's like all that happens. It happens so slow, but at the same time, in his brain, is happening so fast. It's like it's crazy. Like in the post game, they was doing like a replay of the whole situation, and they were showing, of course, you got to respect the shot because he can shoot from anywhere. The guy defender comes up down. He's just the ultimate weapon on the court.
I still as he's going through it, the thought it just never crosses my mind that Luka's going to dunk the basketball. Do you know what I mean? Because he's just so like
nonchalant, I'm just gonna
just gets through, and then boom. And I was in the kitchen making a drink, and I never yell at the TV anymore because it's just my wife's tired, my dogs are asleep, and I go, oh, from all the way across the room. It was great. That's why we watch hoops though.
Yeah, the Denver dunk is probably the best dunk of his career so far because that dunk was a dunk they was not expecting that at all. And
nobody remembers it though because they fucking lost. But that was an incredible dunk.
Yeah, he missed the free throw on that and one.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
He missed the free throw. Yeah, he missed the free throw. So that's what killed that. And try to keep it all positive tonight. But Frank actually played well tonight. He actually played better than DFS tonight. So that was that was good to see him actually put the ball on the floor and put the ball in the basket. Some kind of positive on the offensive end. And like everyone was saying, the pick and roll with Luka and Wood is just it's maximize your best play. It's like you said, we have the best defense out of made baskets. We just have to emphasize scoring the ball, and when everybody's going, then they'll be more hyped to play defense. That's just the logic is there.
I understand why Kid won't do it from a coaching tactic perspective, but you got to look at your guys. It's not like you have a bunch of hungry dogs out there waiting to go, slap the floor and play defense like it's Duke in 1992. This is a group of guys that like scoring. The renewable energy source for the Mavericks is buckets.
Yeah, and like I said on the last one when we lost, last green room, when I was talking about Luka shot attempts, they had a stat that Luka has 91% of his shots made is
unassisted.
Unassisted, yeah, that shows the guy's working, man. And I mean, he's working, and sometimes when he go for the rebound and he's on the floor for he takes a nap. It's he's getting clobbered going to rebound because he's our best rebounder. So sometimes that takes a toll. And then lastly is Spence. I don't know, we always talk about his 3-point percentage, can he keep it up? Can he keep it up? But as a spot-up shooter, this guy is money right now. It's you get him the ball, he's just, I don't know, he automatic right now. He's looking
the catch and shoot stuff is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's just pretty impressive. I mean, the Mavericks, this was a nice bounce back win in a lot of ways. I don't know if we're going to be feeling that the Cavs are really good. Do you want to know something? I just want to share this with the group. Everybody's already listening to the podcast tomorrow, but for you guys who are listening live, are already going to know this. What do you think Donovan Mitchell is shooting on basically off the dribble threes? Guess a percentage.
Yeah, I listened to the pod, so I know what the percentage is, but
the chat's already thrown it in. 45%. It's 46%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's disgusting.
Well, at least Grant went off last time against us. At least we focused on not letting him kill us again. So it seems like the defense is we're getting more keen in defensively. So hopefully tomorrow we can try our best to at least contain Mitchell a little bit. So
yeah.
But
at least we're both coming off a back-to-back because he was 8 of 15 from 3 tonight. What the fuck?
But the efficiency of Luka and Wood tonight, pretty much 11 of 17, 11 of 18. You got to keep that going. Spread the ball, pass the ball around, but like you said, spam the pick and roll because they don't know what to do. I don't
care if there's tape of it for the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs.
Exactly. All right.
Talk soon. Thanks for hanging.
Tomorrow we'll be back at it.
That's right. Okay, coming up next then, Brandon, what's up? Oh, tell you I'm tired. Brandon, you there? Audio might not have picked up for him yet. All right, we'll invite you back up here in a few minutes. Let's go then with Rain. How you doing, Rain? Hopefully you can continue the rest of your day in a good mood after this game. Hit the unmute button there. I think I can hear you. Not sure. All right, we'll invite you back up here in a second once we figure out audio issues.
This is advertiser content brought to you by Frito-Lay.
Hello, I'm Chip Murphy, here to get you ready for the big tournament. Tonight we break down who will be cutting. Cut! What are you two doing?
Sorry, Chip. Prez here got his feathers ruffled when I told him Ruffles has zero chance of winning the title.
And I was letting Dip know that she is not taking into account Ruffles' iconic ridges.
Guys, it's March. We have to start talking about the tournament.
We are. It is the 2023 Frito-Lay Snack It.
We're talking about big-time matchups between Cheetos, Smart Food, Lay's, Sun Chips, and more.
Just head to the Frito-Lay Snack Bracket and vote for your favorite chip, pretzel, or dip for a chance to win up to $1,000 or a year's worth of snacks.
This sounds great. Keep up the good work.
Just go to fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 4/3/2023. Void where prohibited. Year's worth of snacks awarded in the form of 52 coupons, each good for one bag of chips. See official rules at fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com.
All right, my guy Clint. Mavs Moneyball Zone, even though you don't write anything for me these days. God, that's a funny profile photo. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. I was at a very mediocre stand-up comedy show, and I missed this game. So am I to understand the Mavs are good again?
I mean, they look good. They look great. They did the weird thing where they played good players together, and happy basketball was had.
That's some radical coaching. So you're saying they put the best guys out there at the same time?
They did, and it worked. They overwhelmed Portland.
Interesting. It sounds a little too new age for me. I don't know if they can maintain it. I'm much more of the Jason Kidd style of pissing off your best players. So
3 yards in a cloud of dust basketball.
Exactly. So I'm afraid that Kidd is getting a little too woke.
What? Okay, that's one of the funniest things that's ever been said on this podcast. You're ridiculous.
Well, thank you, Kirk. Hey, I don't have a whole lot to add, obviously, because I didn't see the game. I just wanted to say thanks for covering it. I'm sorry. I'll try to write something soon. I kind of think of myself as like the Theo Pinson of Mavs Moneyball.
You're a good writer and a funny guy, and you just need to do it more often and not worry about it. You got to understand, Clint. I said after the last game that the Christian Wood experience isn't for me, and he put up 32 points tonight. It's just like going up. I imagine it's not dissimilar from going up on stage as a stand-up comedian like you do on occasion and just bombing.
Yeah, I didn't bomb tonight, but I did for the first time get actively heckled, by the way, where a lot of times it's fun to make a self-deprecating joke. If something doesn't work,
sure,
you'll kind of comment on that. And I had a somewhat dirty joke that didn't work. And I just said something like, is this a Sunday school meeting or something like that? And a lady just said, no, that just wasn't funny. Really loud. And I was like, Yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
Damn
there's
it.
nothing else to say. But the thing is, the reason I don't write more, Kirk, is because there's just so many brilliant writers at Mavs Moneyball doing so much good stuff that I'm usually just looking for a dumb joke, and those don't always come out as
well. But here's the thing, Clint. I edit everyone into brilliance. Half the writing is garbage. I'm just
kidding. That's true. It is all you. So when I said there were many brilliant minds, I really just meant you, Kirk.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Brandon, let's try it again. What's up?
Second time the charm. How you doing, Kirk?
Damn right. Welcome.
I was thinking about what you said about Maxi and the injuries, hamstring injuries specifically, have always been like a curse to the Mavericks. I remember OJ Mayo was out for a while, him, Harrison, Chandler Parson, and I think Devin Harris was always stuck with some type of hamstring.
Harris did have some hamstring. It's just like when you're a super athletic guy, things like that are going to happen. I mean, it's robbed James Harden. I mean, it's effectively ended James Harden's career. He's still playing and he's still, a real smart guy, but Maxi's attributes are, verticality and being able to deal with banging in the post. And if your hamstring's always under threat from being tight, it just worries me. I hope he's all right. I hope I'm overreacting.
Yeah, but sheesh. I mean, you think about I mean, how long it takes for people to recover when they do come back. A lot of those guys, they come back and then they go out for, an extended period. So I'm kind of like you. But that injury and then the injury to Dwight made me think, man, they're kind of thin on the big side. Somebody brought up Nerlens, but, in a worst case scenario, they really have to play really small ball and maybe slide Dorian over.
Davis Bertans, center of the future.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Hopefully he'll get some threes going. But I was thinking about Luka, and I know a lot of people have been speculating about what he could do in the future based off his body language and everything. And me personally, I feel like just being optimistic, I have to take him for his word. He says he want to be at Mavericks. I just have to kind of trust on that. And I was just looking at probably, I guess, the best comparison of somebody that's loyal outside of Dirk is, Paul Pierce, even though he went to the Nets, he was, a Celtic for an extended period of time. And, he had some really tough years, but, he pretty much stuck with it. And, I'm hoping that, Luka kind of, does that same thing, try to wait it out and see what could happen. And I just kind of hope he has a legacy like Paul Pierce as well, because they got the same body type. Sure. They both play that same slow motion. They're pretty much the same height, same weight, and everything. Both play that slow style of ball, and that seemed to work well for Paul. Not being really playing above the rim, kind of was good for his knees. Even though he had a lot of back injuries. Kind of like Luka, but he preserved himself well by shooting threes and just bodying those guys. So hopefully. Luka takes that role, and everybody's pretty much quiet in a couple of years hopefully when the Mavs get their stuff together.
Well, I think this season is going to, I was feeling very dark about it last night, and I might be feeling dark about it tomorrow night, but I sort of see a path if they sort of abandon what Kidd wants to do and do what the strengths of the team are. Now, I don't necessarily think it means they win a playoff series, but I think they could be top 6 in the West if they just go try to beat everybody on offense.
Kind of like pretty much what Phoenix used to do whenever they just run dudes off.
The team in my mind is like the 2000 to 2003 Dallas Mavericks. The 2003 Mavericks should have won the NBA title, but that's a different story for another day. But they were they were awesome on offense.
Yeah, they were really awesome on offense. They were young too. Well, I take that back. They weren't very young, but they had a lot of scoring power.
Yep.
On that team too. But to me, I'm just like, when you look at that team, I kind of wonder if Kidd is kind of looking at it like, what are these guys? You know what I mean? What can they do? Kind of how they put Frank in today, and he kind of showed up. I wonder if Kidd is kind of like, let me see exactly what I have, because those guys are really getting a lot of garbage minutes, and that's pretty much the sample size that, for me, that's the sample size I've seen is garbage. Outside of the playoffs, is garbage minutes for Frank and Theo whenever he was there. So I kind of wonder if Kidd is like, let me see what we got, because from an outside view, it just, when you look at the score, when you look at the box score, you just see Luka and a couple of guys here and there scoring 20.
Right. Well, thanks for joining.
All right, thanks, Kirkman. Take care.
Talk soon. All right, Rain, we're gonna give you one more try. What's up?
How's the audio now?
There we go. Welcome.
Oh, it's great to have a win. Yeah, I can have a good evening for once.
That's right.
Playing good players, gets good results. I'll say I didn't mind Frank's minutes so long as he wasn't dribbling the ball and trying to play make.
Yeah.
I think the lineup where they tried Luka Wood with 3 defenders on the floor with, was it DFS, Reggie, and Ntilikina, and even the lineup where Tim Hardaway was in for Reggie didn't play terribly. The defense didn't look too horrendous. Now, this was also Portland, who not necessarily playing the best at this moment or in this game, but
so before this game, their last 6, they were 5-1 with a point differential north of 12 points a game. They were kicking the shit out of people. So this feels like it feels like a strong victory when you think about it in that context. But the Mavericks just seem to own them.
I take back that previous statement then. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was way off in my head. Maybe I just assumed, the Mavs are winning. Must be a below 500 team.
Like, that's what I think. I look at them and I'm like, it's the Blazers, and they've won 16 games.
Yeah, and I was on Reddit about 5 minutes before the start of the third quarter, and someone put up a post saying, what is it going to take for Wood to start? And I immediately commented for Powell to get injured, and about 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh shit. I didn't actually want him to be injured, but all hopes and prayers that he's going to be fine. I do hope they rest him the next game just to give him a little bit of rest and maybe to start with. But on the other hand, we just saw that the Cavs are not a good matchup for Christian Wood. Having 2 guys over 6'10" to get in his way is just not a recipe for success with Wood, and I'm afraid that we will finally get Wood starting with Luka, and it's not going to go well because it's a particularly bad matchup, and that's just going to be kids' ammunition to go never again.
See, I just Wood is slight, and so he's a little under. He's not undersized.
He looks really small.
Skinny. He's skinny for a big guy, and they bullied him a little bit. And I would hope that if he's playing the same team twice in a week, he'll come back. He'll look at whatever game tape they had and realize he needed, because he played with a lot of force tonight. I mean, Nurkic is a big man, and he abused him both, and not just by being quick. He went into him in a way that was really impressive, and I hope carries over for the second straight game.
Well, maybe his timid play comes from Jason Kidd being a fucking terrorist and just torturing him and waterboarding him to not making mistakes, and he's afraid to attack the basket or lose the ball. But it's a win. I'll take it. They got to rest Luka and some starters. When was the last time that got to happen? I'm going to be honest, the Luka dunk, because the last time we saw Luka dunk, I was like, oh shit, the vibes are too good right now. Something's going to go drastically fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And, it didn't.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. I'll let someone else up to speak.
Thanks, bud. Talk soon. All right. Let's go with Brantley. What's up, man?
Hey, Kirk. How's it doing?
It's good. Good. Come a little closer to Mike. We'll look for the green ring around your name to light up. That'll tell that your audio is coming through well.
All right. Can you hear me?
Hey, there we go.
All right. So I want to talk about 2 end of the bench players tonight.
Mark Cuban and Tony Romo? Who
yeah, exactly. So the first thing is Kemba Walker. So first about him, the open catch and shoot 3 for Luka that he got for him tonight was one of my favorite plays of the season because no one else on the team can do that.
That's true.
And it reminded me of something Bill Simmons was talking about last week, actually, where he said the Mavericks should use Kemba like the Celtics are using Blake Griffin, where they play him 1 game a week and play him 25 minutes in that 1 game.
I mean, he looked really good.
Yeah.
It was never a question of his talent. It's a question of pain tolerance. And it wouldn't I don't expect him to play tomorrow night at all, for example. So maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, because he can provide, but he can't provide often.
Right.
Yeah. And then the second thing I want to talk about was McKinley Wright, who has not played for the Mavericks this season. And I have nothing against him, but I think with the injuries to Maxi and Dwight Powell potentially, the Mavericks might want to use that second two-way contract on a big man.
I mean, It's interesting you bring this up because when I saw that they gave their second, like I liked McKinley Wright to play a great deal, but I always thought it was a little bit interesting to give the second contract to a guard for a team, and it goes both ways where it's like on the one hand, well, yeah, the Mavericks need another ball handler. But then it's just sort of with hindsight in mind, it feels sort of obvious. Like, why didn't they sign another big to that position? And honestly, it's just because the league is so damn guard and wing driven. That's got to be part of it. I'm sort of worried that the Mavericks are going to make a bit of a panic move for someone, but I just don't. You're listening to the various NBA trade podcasts with people who actually have their pulse on things, and it seems like the Mavericks are kind of looked at as a team that will go do something. But, like, who's out there? What do the Mavs have to give? Like, they cannot in their right minds trade another first-round pick for anything. So it feels like right now that maybe they're going to go bargain hunting. I mean, someone made a horrific joke in a chat that I'm in. Hey, Hassan Whiteside is still out there. I don't know what they're going to do. Because they do. They need depth.
The one that really makes sense is Kyle Kuzma is on an expiring deal, and he is not going to re-sign with the Wizards.
For you think for the Mavericks?
I think that the Wizards are going to give him up for less than most people think they would.
Interesting. I think he wants to be the man on his own team because he's already gotten his ring. So it's like I don't think he would really want to play with Dallas. That's just my opinion. But I
agree. I agree. I don't think he would re-sign with Dallas. But
I see what you're saying.
I think he's getting traded somewhere this season because the Wizards are in a bad place.
That's an interesting thought. I haven't really given him much thought just because I don't know what. Number one, I'm garbage at trades, but number two, I just wonder what they would actually give for him.
I saw a Dwight Powell and Josh Green for Kuzma trade from someone outside of the Mavericks.
Holy shit. Everyone in here would riot at that. God, that'd be funny.
Would, but it makes sense.
That would be funny. I don't even know how to feel about that one. Well, I like the flames on it. That's just something that's going to get people talking.
Okay. But glad we won the night. It's to make whatever happens tomorrow feel a little bit better. At least
that's true. That's true. All right.
And the Cavs had a very close game with the Pacers tonight, so they're going to be tired tomorrow more than the Mavericks will.
That's a good take. Well, thank you for joining, Brantley.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Talk soon. All right, coming up last, my man Micah. Mike always sends me a DM wondering when the hell I'm starting this thing after Mavs games. So hit the unmute button. Tell us what you got, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Kurt?
Just enjoying the fact that the Mavericks won.
Yeah, nice win. As much as I enjoy the win, man, I've been watching the NBA for like over 30 years now. Are the Blazers just forever cursed to be the team that makes you think they're contenders and quickly remind you that they aren't?
I mean, I certainly think so. Dame Lillard is such an unbelievably talented player, but I mean, when was the last time a team won? Like, it's got to be like the friggin' Pistons in 1989 or whatnot when they won with Isaiah Thomas. Like, winning with a small guard as your best player is just hard.
I mean, well, not just one, but two. Like, I mean, yeah, that's the only. Like, I was trying to think back through history, and that's the only small backcourt that I could think of that won was Isaiah and Joe Dumars. Like, Joe Dumars was undersized. I think
that's true.
He's like 6'3". But other than that, I've never seen it work. And I don't know if it works in today's NBA when you got wings that are at the point of attack. They're just giants, like, 6'7", 6'8", and coming off the wing. And I don't know. It's just easy to pick on guys like that.
Yep.
But
I mean, their other backup guard, or not backup. What's his name? Young man just signed an extension of a deal. their other guard is also a small player. And
Anthony Simons.
Yeah, Simons. He's amazing. But it's just like the team is built to sort of help play defense around those two, and then Luka comes in and just detonates on them because none of those guys are good enough to defend him. I mean, who is? But it was kind of painful to watch. Like, he just abused them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Nurkic is still terrible on defense.
Yeah.
And Eubanks is atrocious too, and that's the thing. Like, look, I know we don't have the personnel, and it's just something that costs you in the playoffs sometimes. You can win a lot of regular season games, like just having explosive offense and being mediocre in defense. But like you're saying, at this point, just get to the playoffs. At least have something,
That's right. Well, you got anything else for us?
Hey, that dunk was so nasty.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That was a fun one.
Like, he's had some wild dunks. But still, look, even though it's old Dwight, I still love that one where he put Dwight on a poster last season.
What team was Dwight on last year? People are mentioning it. I didn't want to.
Lakers.
I don't remember the dunk.
No. This must have been like 2 seasons ago then that I'm thinking about.
Was he a Laker?
He was with the Lakers when it happened.
Oh, okay. I remember this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was definitely a good one.
But he was like,
you got anything else for us?
No, that's about it.
All right. Appreciate you, sending me a message. I always want to do these. We get to them as quick as I can, but I got to tell you, I always crack up when you're like, hey, when are we doing this? All right. I'll see you tomorrow night. I hope.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Wonderful. Great win. Shout out to my man Charles in the chat who sent me a message that he thought the Mavs were going to win after the guy playing the violin for the national anthem. Everybody be good. We'll talk a little tomorrow night. Look for podcasts, come to the site, do all that good stuff. Everyone have a great Saturday. We'll talk tomorrow.